Hi everyone! I'm sorry I'm late. It had been quite hot in Sydney and there must be something wrong with me. I've been failing baking twice and I was unsure whether I should upload this video, but my videos don't show perfect outcome anyways, so I'll show you guys what I did wrong and why I failed. So first, I whipped egg whites and gradually added sugar to make strong meringue. And then I added egg yolks and kept whipping. Now I'm going to sift flour and corn flour into the egg mixture. Using spatula, I folded the dry ingredients with the egg mixture. Put the mixture into a piping bag. I'll pipe the mixture to make lady fingers. Sift icing sugar on top of the piped mixture and bake for 10 minutes. I've got 2 shots of lungo and I added sugar, some Kahlua and water for coffee syrup. For the cream, I had 2 options. One is just to whip the mascarpone cheese with sugar and pure cream. 2 is to double boil egg yolk with sugar and mix with mascarpone cheese and cream and gelatin. This is a bit more complicated but tastes better, so I chose option 2. I beat the egg yolks with sugar, then added corn syrup. I poured boiling water into a pot, then beat the egg mixture on top of the pot so the egg yolk can cook. When the egg yolks become light, add melted gelatin and mix. So this is where I misread the recipe and mixed mascarpone cheese directly into the egg mixture. The egg mixture was still a bit warm, so the mixture became runny rather than creamy. But I still didn't notice the error, so I go ahead and added cointreau and unwhipped cream. This is when I read the recipe properly because the cream mixture was so runny. It couldn't be this runny if I followed the instructions correctly, but I couldn't do anything at this point, so I just whipped some cream to mix with the failed mixture. I kept whipped the mixture so it can thicken up, but instead it started to cuddle, so this is when I knew my tiramisu failed, but I still continued to make it. I soaked the lady fingers into the coffee syrup, then lined them up in a large square dish. Then I topped with cream and added another layer of lady fingers. The lady fingers were floating because the cream was so runny. Instead of sifting cocoa powder on top, I crushed chocolate cookies and topped them on tiramisu. The texture was obviously not so nice, but after about 3 days, the texture felt quite normal. But after all, this tiramisu was not so great. After failing tiramisu, I wanted to make something simple that I won't fail again. So I decided to make 2 different types of madeleines. One will be chocolate and another will be Earl Grey. A measuring egg, honey and sugar. Then I melted butter in microwave. Add milk to the egg mixture and give it a light whisk. Sift flour, cocoa powder, and baking powder into the egg mixture and mix until everything combines. Add melted butter and mix. Pour the mixture into a piping bag. Pipe the mixture into Madeleine trays. Bake in oven for 10 minutes. The chocolate madeleines came out so good, so I was excited and I thought I won't fail today. I soaked Earl Grey tea leaves in warm milk before making the chocolate madeleine batter. The rest of the process is the same. The madeleines would have been perfect if I stopped tea, but because they turned out so nicely, I wanted to coat them with chocolate and fill with chocolate ganache. To fill Earl Grey madeleines, I'm melting white chocolate in warm cream with Earl Grey leaves to make Earl Grey ganache. Then I had to temper the dark chocolate couverture, so I measured the chocolate. I tried melting them in microwave because the day was so hot, but this was probably my first error. The temperature of the chocolate didn't go beyond 37 degrees Celsius, so I ended up doing the double boil. So first is to raise the chocolate temperature to 50 degrees Celsius. I'm going to turn the heat off around 47 degrees because the temperature will rise while mixing the chocolate. Then I need to drop the temperature to around 27 degrees and raise the temperature to 32 degrees. I think my final temperature was too low because it was around 31 degrees. I poured about 1 teaspoon of chocolate into the madeleine tray and push the madeleines into each mold. Then I stored the madeleine trays in freezer so the madeleines can set. Then I made hole on Earl Grey madeleines using apple corer. I filled the Earl Grey ganache into the hole, but I was thinking, why is the ganache so runny? The tempered chocolate should shrink a bit if tempered well, but my chocolate is just stuck to the tray. I'm trying a few different ways to get the madeleines out, but nothing worked. So in the end, I just decided to melt the chocolate and get the madeleines out. Let's be positive. I've got some chocolate for my next baking. So I whipped too much for tiramisu and I messed up tempering the chocolate. But why is the ganache not setting? The Earl Grey ganache was absorbed into the madeleine. The ganache was not warm at all, and the measurement was correct. So I've got no idea why the ganache didn't set.